Well, it's finally good to be back in making videos. Yeah, it's been, to be honest, it's been long overdue. This break has gone for too long, and yeah, like I was planning to be back at making videos like way back, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, but I just, lack of motivation, I guess, and well, me still being quite down after last year's breakup. Uh, Mentally, I'm much in a much better place now than I was back then, of course. But yeah, I'm still struggling somewhat. But yeah, big improvement, like how I feel today. And yeah, I'm just getting used to being in front of camera again. Yeah, it's been like almost 9 months, I think. And I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. Probably very fucking long, but I try to make it as compact as possible. Uh, yeah, so much to talk about, so fucking much to talk about. Like everything that has happened, gaming wise, what games I have bought since the end of last year before Christmas. Uh, Many. Yeah, my answer is many. And I'm going to talk about and show you a couple of PS5 games that I got physical editions. Mm. Also, I ordered a device 2 days ago, but let me talk about that later. Maybe that being the end discussion of this video. Yeah. So, okay, first, let me begin just recapping what games have been released since last year's October. Yeah, like I'm not trying to. I was little bit preparing for this video, but not so much. I don't have a list, where I read all, where I have listed every game that I have bought and have sparked interest in me. But I try to at least the most important games. So yeah, for Xbox Series S, Forza Motorsport came back in. Yeah, I think when I made the last video about in October, I think the yeah, I think Forza Motorsport was released already, but of course I didn't feel like talking back then, about gaming in general. I was so down, but yeah, I've been playing that quite a lot, and it's an amazing game. Like, I think it's even better than Gran Turismo 7 that I bought when it was released, and play the heck out of it, complete the career mode. It was brilliant, but I think Forza Motorsport is even better in my opinion. It just, kind of in every way. The cars handle better, for me at least. Graphics are more varied. There are much more, weather effects, uh, day and night cycle, and yeah, the game just looks phenomenal, like graphically, and plays almost perfectly. So I've been playing that a lot since release. Um, I can't think of many other games that were released, before Christmas last year. Uh, but yeah, Alone in the Dark came. So when I made the video, I said it was back then, it was supposed to come out January, but it was delayed again, and finally it came in March. And I pre-ordered it digitally for PS5, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was great. I think it is the best Alone in the Dark game since the New Nightmare for me. Of course, there wasn't really only one official, main serious game, the Alone in the Dark, between that came 2008, I think, between New Nightmare and this newest game. But so it's not saying much that it's the best since New Nightmare, but yeah, it's very good. But just recently, very bad news about the Pieces Interactive that developed the game. They went bankruptcy, unfortunately, because the Embracer, which is I think Swedish company that had Pieces Interactive under their wings, they laid off quite a lot of their studios. They needed to cut finances, and unfortunately Pieces Interactive, the whole team was laid off. So very disappointing, and that would probably mean the end of, at least for now, for Alone in the Dark series, just as it was reborn. It went down very quickly. I don't know if any other company is buying the rights to the series. I hope that happens, but yeah, huge disappointment that. And yeah, also it took me, back when I made the last video in October, I was still playing. I hadn't finished Resident Evil 4 remake. I had a quite long break playing that game because summer, I just didn't felt like playing horror games in bright and hot summer. It just kind of ruins the atmosphere. So I had to wait for winter to continue playing it. I finished it finally earlier this year, and the Separate Ways DLC expansion, and just fucking brilliant game. Both main game and Separate Ways were just brilliant, and I'm now just so excited to see what's next for there still hasn't been any concrete announcement what Capcom is uh, working next, but there's been strong rumors that there is Code Veronica remake in the making, and maybe also Resident Evil 5 remake, which personally I don't care that much. I might buy it eventually if that is true, but Code Veronica is like absolute day one game for me. It's I would say I'm more excited about that than I was excited about back in the day when Resident Evil 2 remake was announced. Like, I'm even more excited about the potential Code Veronica remake, because in Resident Evil series, that is my second favorite game. It's been my favorite game earlier, but I think the original Resident Evil 1 remake still is the king. It's the best Resident Evil for me. But yeah, definitely Code Veronica comes second. So now I'm just waiting for Capcom to officially announce what they really are doing right now. But yeah, still no concrete announcements. So the waiting continues. Yeah. Okay, so let me show a couple of physical PS5 games that I got. Haven't played this much, but I played the first Hot Wheels Unleashed, and I loved it, and I bought the Unleashed 2. Haven't played it much yet, but what I have played, it's pretty much the same, but better, slightly better. But yeah, if you really love it, the first Unleashed, this is pretty much the same. Like, just more of everything, I guess. And yeah, of course, I made a videos of, of course I'm interested that Night Dive Studios, what they are doing, everything they do, I'm generally interested. And I was talking about the upcoming System Shock remake for consoles. Well, it was finally released last month, I think 21st of May, and I was able to get the physical PS5 version. Yeah. Like with the last game, I have only played this from the beginning a little bit, but definitely feels very promising. Never have played the original, so this is a kind of new experience for me. And then I got, as a huge fan of, not huge fan of fighting games in general, but I've always been interested about Tekken series, and Tekken 8 is what I got. Yeah, I think in release, day one purchase. Yeah, I pre-ordered this from my local game store. Yeah, got it from there, if I remember right. Yeah. Have played this a couple of hours. Well, it's what you expect from Tekken. Graphics are insanely good using Unreal Engine 5. But pretty much it's what you expect from Tekken game. Like, it's not reinventing anything, and why should it? Like, why fix something that isn't broken? Pretty much goes with this. Yeah, think I have played all the main series games. I haven't played the very first. I never had the first Tekken, but yeah, since Tekken 2 I have played them all. And yeah, this is just excellent. I think the best fighting game. Ever made. And as a huge wrestling fan, I decided to get WWE's 2K24. I've played this quite much, completed the what was it called? The main, story mode, the Road to WrestleMania mode, I think it was called. It was excellent, very entertaining. You like replay the real life WrestleMania events that were, the last 30 years of WrestleMania. 40 years. No, 40 years of WrestleMania, of course. Very fun game. And those are the, new physical PS5 games. Like, I have bought so many digital games that I'm not going to, maybe in another video, but I'm not going to try to remember every digital purchase that I've got in the past 8 months. But yeah, okay, by the way, you have may seen this. If you're a Disney fan, you probably are very familiar with this character. I'm a huge Stitch fan nowadays. Thanks to the game Disney Speedstorm that I'm very addicted to. Like, when I bought the early access, when it was still in early access, I think back in last year's July, October, I think July, July or August, free to play game, but yeah, you had to bought the early access pack. But I'm very, like, back then, I actually didn't even know that Speedstorm is a free-to-play game. Back then will be, when it was releasing worldwide, I think in September last year. Yeah, I bought the early access pack. I immediately fell in love with the game, and also alongside with Stitch character. I admit I have only seen the first Lilo and Stitch movie. I haven't seen any others. But yeah, like, from the game I just fell in love with the Stitch character. And when I started playing the game, I really didn't know much about Stitch anyway, because after I've got familiar with the game, I just saw the first Lilo and Stitch film like a couple of months ago for the first time, after I had played Speedstorm for months. Yeah, so this is like a controller holder. You can put controller in its palms there arms. But yeah, and I have another Stitch thing that I just bought, but I'm not going to, include also that to this video. I try to make this a compact, just to say hello again to my few viewers, that I'm back and things are looking better in general, and just have the enough motivation to finally do a video after a long period of time. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to, forceful just remember everything that has happened, what I have bought. Those are for the, future videos. But yeah, like I said in the beginning, I will talk about the thing I ordered 2 days ago that I'm quite excited about. Well, first, initially, it was released back in November last year. It's a PlayStation product. Can you guess? If you can, then you know your PlayStation stuff. But it's PlayStation Portal. Kinda handheld, but kind of remote player where you can remotely play your PS5 games. Not on the go, but on your hands, pretty much. So of course, back when PlayStation Portal was announced, I was really disappointed because I expected, well, I wasn't very hopeful, but I still expected that maybe Sony will come back to, portable gaming after PlayStation Vita's quite huge failure, commercial failure, I would say. But yeah, I had my doubts, like Vita was such a, in general, in the end, it was quite a failure, and I think that maybe Sony will never continue the, fully on the go gaming. But I think this is still, at first I was like, I'm not buying this. It's a remote player. I was hoping for a fully portable device, but yeah, then I just changed my mind and it was starting to actually sound quite interesting. And it's not that expensive, like in euros where I bought it, it was 239 €239. So I think that's quite acceptable price for the product that is mainly a remote player just. But yeah, I'm so excited. I should get it next week. I don't think it will probably come within a week. I hope. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I will get it next week, and I might do a PlayStation Portal unboxing. I don't promise, but I might do it. And yeah, actually, just today, before I started recording this video, I thought that my comeback video would be just out of the blue PlayStation Portal unboxing video. Then I just felt today that, yeah, I feel today that I'm ready to make a video again, talking about the PlayStation Portal a little bit. So yeah, I think the PlayStation Portal was the kind of motivation in general for me to make this video. Yeah. So, you know, some specs about the Portal. It's actually very huge. It's like over 30 centimeters wide, 15 centimeters height, and yeah, it's like I think this wide and about this height. So it's a huge device. I didn't expect it to be, but of course it has an 8-inch full HD LCD screen. A little bit disappointed that it doesn't have OLED screen, but I kind of understand that they wanted to keep the price affordable. If it had OLED screen, it would probably be about 100 or even more euros more expensive, and for me that would have been too much, you know, say 350 euros. That would be too much, like even 300 probably, but yeah, just little under 250 euros is quite acceptable, and it's acceptable for me and my budget. But yeah, 8 screen full HD LCD screen, and you know, they have, it's like a DualSense controller, but you know, sliced, you know, only having the handlebars, you know, of the controller, like it's like this, and the screen is in the middle, but it just widens it quite a lot. And I've also read that the thumbsticks are a little bit smaller on the Portal, which makes sense, but it does have all the functionality as this, you know, basic DualSense controller. Of course, I'm not talking about the DualSense Edge, because I'm not that familiar with that very expensive elite controller. And yeah, well, talking about elite controllers, I bought Microsoft's Elite Core controller for my Series S. Like, it has you know, you can, like, now they fully move, but you can make it like there are 3 stages. Now they move very little, and you know, then you can put that in between, and it moves moderately, and then back to, you know, full, like in the original Xbox controller. This is the same kind of movement that you get from the original controller. The sticks are so much, you know, smoother than on the origin. I really love these sticks. They are they have much better feeling when playing, and I absolutely love that. And it's not nearly as expensive as DualSense Edge, which costs about, well, the same amount than PlayStation Portal, which is just insane in my opinion. Like paying almost, well, 250 euros for a fucking controller is way too much. Like that was, I think, 129 euros. It was still for me quite expensive, but yeah, I was just interested about, and I had read about it, good things, that it's a very good controller, you know, for the price. It's not overpriced as Edge. Like Edge, of course, there are fans of that controller, and like I said, I haven't even touched that controller. I can't make any judgment about that. But I've read quite negative, you know, experiences about that. Mostly the overpriced, it being overpriced. But in general, I've heard that it's not a great controller, and I've heard much more positive things about the Microsoft Elite controller. But yeah, so PlayStation Portal coming next week. Yeah, maybe doing unboxing, and we'll see how it goes from here. Like, I still haven't decided that are my videos going to, you know, come periodically, like they were, I'd say, once a week or something like that. I still haven't really think about that yet, but it remains to be seen. But definitely, well, I'm back, and yeah, like I said in my last video in October, that this is not the end of my channel by no means. I just need a break from my channel because I wasn't feeling well, and especially not motivated to make any videos. But yeah, so I think this is quite compact, little over half an hour. So yeah, so without further ado, let's just wrap this up, and hope to see you in my next video whenever it comes. But yeah, in a nutshell, it's great to be back finally. Bye.